All right. What's up, you guys? You are watching Real Talk TV. Give me 1 second. All right. What's up, y'all? I'm just gathering my the stuff I want to talk about. I'm gonna see if some people want to come in first. Give it a few minutes. But while I'm waiting, please feel free to like this video and tell me how your day is going so far in the comments. Let's see. That's crazy. Mm. I'm trying to find. Where is it again? I might have to do it for this week. Okay. Oh, the T has it. Okay. All right. I'm gonna use that. What's up, Ivy? So I found the clip that I wanted to show. This is the same clip that I had the other day. This might sound a little crazy, but I want us to kind of dissect the body language of a narcissist when they are in the process of manipulating people. And then I'm going to please you all with the ending of that clip, which I forgot to show in my last live. And I was so tired of the whole thing that I just ended it right before the ending part. I was going to do another live with the ending, and I didn't get a chance to. So I'm going to give that to you guys. More beer. More beer. I'm about to. Did you message me? I mean, did you text me? More beer. If y'all hear anything in the background, as I have stated before, I am getting work done to my home. So, okay, more beer. Okay. I wasn't sure. I'm like, listen, they don't know my real name, so I don't know who that is. But anyway, if you hear noise in the background, you know I'm getting work done to my home. It's a process, y'all. I might do a vlog. I don't know. I don't know if I'm that, ready to be open like that. All right. Here is the link for when you guys get ready to come up. Let me start off with the video. Shout out to the T for uploading this video so that I don't have to go to other channel holders. So that I don't have to go to other channel holders to play this. Those who like to exploit this situation. So let's see.
Peace reflection.
Peace.
How are you doing today?
Okay. Okay. So, and just so you guys remember, I'm not going to do the audio for this one. I'm just going to play it. I'm just going to play it. I want y'all to look at the body language. We're going to discuss the body language. Um, my last video, I played the sound. I'll play the sound at the end of this once we get to the ending. Um, I just want you to recognize some patterns and some behaviors that uh, other channel holders might not have been able to address, or may have missed, or may have not discussed at all. Because when we are watching someone like this, we always want to remember why we are watching it. I hate to be for those who like to use it as content and just entertainment. I'm not that person. I'm really not. Um, so, there are plenty of people who just have the content so that you can watch it as entertainment. But here we're trying to learn something from what we see. All right. So as you can see, he's setting up, right? He's breaking everything down, getting ready, got his sad followers behind him, getting ready to make him, because okay, so remember, this is what he's doing. The screen that he looks at gives him validation. This is where he gets the majority of his validation. Uh, Whether they're doing what he could have easily said, I'm going to have a situation where the people around me worship me, they do what I tell them to do, and live a good life like that. No one has to know what I'm doing. um uh, I have these followers, they're in my grip, period, that's it. And now, he did it until the wheels fell off. But no, he chose to stay online, because that is where he gets the majority of his supply. People think it's the ones who follow him, the ones who worship him day to day. It's not. It's not. He has to show us what he's doing. If he can't show people that he has these followers, if he can't show people that he has these women who do what he tells them to do, I don't think that he would be able. It wouldn't be as gratifying for him. So, like I was saying, so he's setting it up, giving the appearance. Ivy, what's up, mama?
Hi.
Just let me know when you have input, and then I'll mute it, because
Okay.
there'll be noise in my background.
No problem.
Um, but he's setting it up. You see, he's making eye contact through the screen. Um, he's he's giving off the aura of being friendly, he's talking to her. If you look and see how his demeanor is, he's not normally this calm. Number one, he's not normally this soft, unless he's working on doing something. And I hate when he does this, but he does it a lot. When he's trying to convince, specifically a woman, when he's trying to convince a woman of something, he squints his eyes.
Hmm.
And that can be a trick he learned from when he was a stripper.
Right.
Um, the art of seduction.
That's right. That's right. Um, well, you know the saying that the eyes are the root to the soul, right? So most narcissists know that. So most narcissists want to look you in your eyes when you're talking. They keep actually really weird, freakishly long eye contacts with people. They want them to look at them. They want people to look them in the eyes. Part of that cold empathy. They want to be able to listen for cues. And I would say subtle cues, such as whether you are rolling your eyes or, breathing heavily, like any subtle cue that's saying that you're not listening to their regurgitated verbiage. They want to make sure that every time they say something, you believe them passionately. Part of the game is um, just getting you to fall for all of the contradictions and all of the untruths that they speak out of their mouth. And they can't do that unless you're really, really feeling them, and that they know that through the eyes.
That's right. And if you notice in the beginning, he also had his head tilted. Look at there it goes again. This is
Yes.
people typically do that when they are trying to convince you of something. When they're trying to have you understand them, they're trying to meet you somewhere and give a sense of comfort and relaxation. Listen to me. We I hear you. I feel you. We should we have a commonality
Hmm.
in the conversation and what is being said.
Yes, exactly. When a narcissist is trying to persuade you anyway, they going to do they everybody has a certain ticks to their persona, right?
Mhm.
Like for me, I giggle a lot. I don't know. I can't even help that. I giggle a lot sometimes in between sentences. It's random. Okay. Or some people might scratch their head. Some people have, their eyebrows go up, they're like they're inquisitive, things of that nature. So his subtle cue is telling her, I am your friend. You don't have to fear me. I want to have this conversation with you. But that's to lure her in, right? To like Morbear said, persuade her, for like to open to her suggestion, like she said. Yeah. But that's to say, I'm your friend. You don't have to fear me. Let's have this conversation. Because a lot of people have walls up when they speak to Eligio, you know, especially in circumstances like this when they know him well enough and he knows that she knows him well.
This is a good point right here. Morebeer said he has to make certain gestures to relay his BS. That's why the barber had to stop the barber. That's why his follower had to stop constantly. Absolutely. If when he's really trying to get her to hear him, to focus everything around him, because he knows he has control over everything in his space, so he can make other things stop, so she can focus only on him, so he can focus only on her. um Remember, this is always also a mirror to him. He's looking at himself, seeing how he is being portrayed on the screen.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, no, like you said, the key word is control.
Oh,
The book.
Breeze, thank you. Okay, so sorry to cut you off,
It's
Ivy.
okay.
I went to Breeze's video channel. If you haven't, please, y'all have to go to this person's channel. This channel holder's videos are about Eligio, Nature Boy. But they are so hilarious, so funny. I watched them. I wish you had more. I wish you had more views. So I'm gonna play it at some point during this live. They are really okay.
Awesome. Welcome, Breeza. Yeah. So, you know, sorry, I lost a little bit of my train of thought
Oh,
here.
I'm so sorry.
Go ahead. You could continue.
Okay, so I was just saying, He's looking at her. He's looking at himself constantly to make sure that he's behaving a certain way or projecting a certain behavior.
Mhm.
Um, and if you know, when we were watching it the other day, remember he was very mellow tone. You know, look, he's smiling right now. He's
Right.
smiling. He wants her to loosen up. He wants to break down this wall that she has that he can see. Why does he do this? We all know why he's doing it. The goal is to understand that, like Ivy said, these cues, and so that you can recognize when someone like him is trying to manipulate you. There goes that I thing again. That shit bothers me, but there it goes again.
Yeah. Well, every narcissist has some type of objective for you. And most narcissists, when they are nice, is because they're trying to get down to the mindset. I find it so um, interesting how the narcissists want to know how everybody's mind is working. And that's because they want to be able to manipulate it for future use. So, yes, um, if he's being nice, he's trying to get to the root of how she thinks so that he can be able to change her narrative in the tail end. So, whenever a narcissist starts a conversation, a relationship, a friendship, a partnership, business ship, I don't care what it is, you don't know what their goal is, what their intent is for you. Only they know that. Okay. So it's a game for them. They have a conversation with you is because they're trying to get to an objective. So it's always good to remember that because it's a robotic type of thought process for them. They always do something with an objective in mind. Now, this young lady may not know what that objective is, and neither do we, but he does. He knows what that objective for this conversation is.
That's right. And at this moment, this is when he was trying to tell her, you guys are not meant to be together. You were not, you know, your frequencies didn't match, and that's okay that your frequencies didn't match. You guys got to be apart. This is the stuff he's telling her right now. and so and so he's trying to be calm about it, trying to be cool about it. But this is the part where Kite actually comes up onto the screen. Give me 1 second, you guys. I'm sorry, I had to speak to someone. So Ivy, can you take over for a second? Oh, she might also not be available.
So,
Give
no,
me.
I'm here.
Oh,
Sorry.
can you take over for me
Yeah,
1 second?
no problem.
Okay.
Absolutely. So, yes, you know, so I'm glad I said that because see, I didn't really get see this video, but as far as I speak in terms of generally when I speak about the narcissist, yes. So if his objective then might be at this point trying to come in between the young lady and the young man in this video, then if that's the case, so that would have been his objective then if he's having this conversation with them. So that's what they have something in mind. There's something that he's reaching for. And if he's having a casual conversation with them, his objective is to do something to these two or change the perspective of one or both of these young people that he's speaking to on the camera. And that's what they tend to do. So, you know, but since I haven't seen the video, I can't, too much of the video, I can't give too much context on it, but that's what it appears here. So, do anybody want to come up? Like more bear, we would love to have you up if you could come up soon. We enjoyed the conversation that we had with you a few days ago, and you gave us a lot of things to think about in terms of cults, which is very informative. So if you can think about coming up, that would be awesome. But yeah, and absolutely, in terms of your comment, word salad, right? He got on there to word salad her out and blaming him for the breakup. Absolutely, and yes, they do that too. I mean, they will never take ownership. Everybody else is to blame for everything other than them. That'll always happen in every circumstances. There's zero to no accountability or ownership when it comes to what the narcissist does in any given time. They will never take ownership. Everybody is the aggressor. Everybody is to blame. They are the victims in every circumstance. They are either the victim or the person who knows everything. So they can't be the victim because they the know-all. So everybody around them is either children who need their guidance, or everyone is the aggressor in their story. That will always be the narrative. That's part of the splitting mechanism, which is they are bad and I am great, and everybody, or me and my team is great and everybody else is bad. They have to split people in categories so that they can demonize everybody outside of themselves and everybody else around them and their team or whoever they have part of their circle. So that's very important to recognize when it comes to a narcissist. A narcissist language is always them versus us, he versus she, women versus men. That'll always be the narrative at all times, so that people can identify themselves in whatever circle. This keeps their followers loyal to them, and then it makes everybody else look good, worse outside of that circle. Absolutely. So, absolutely. So, yep. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to add here at the time, but yeah, I mean, if Real come back, she can actually let the video play out. That'll work for us so we can see some of the things that's happening in this video. So we'll wait for her for a second.
I'm here. I'm so sorry. I had to deal with something very important.
Yes, More Bear said something very interesting in terms of they keep you questioning your reality. Yes, absolutely, at all times. When in any type of conversation with a narcissist, they say sometimes the right thing, sometimes not even the right thing. It's kind of the wrong thing, but it may feel right. And you say, wait a minute, let me think about that for a second. Maybe that's true. That's how he keep people in his web or of deception. If he can change your reality or your perception of your own reality. And that's what they do most times. Absolutely.
I'm gonna have to replay my own video, y'all. My own life. I don't like missing pieces of my life. What's up,
Yes.
More Bear?
Hey, More Bear.
Can you hear me?
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Barely.
We hear
I'm in
you.
the office. Yeah, I'm in the office, child. I don't know. I'm just trying to get it in with a little bit with y'all.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Get it in. I'll be right back. Talk.
Okay. Hey, Ivy. Can you hear me?
Hey, More Bear.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm so happy you came up and give us some of your your commentary and how you feel about this whole shabacle.
Well, yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think you guys are, are dead on, just spot on, you know, with these microaggressions and just the tactics, that he's using to, ultimately manipulate the situation. I mean, even if looking at the video now, you can see him doubling down, just trying to, we can't hear what he's saying, but just looking at, the gestures that he's making,
Right.
you know, it's like he's feeling like he's explaining something that somebody doesn't understand, apparently. And
Yeah.
if you look at the young lady's face, the person that he's actually trying to uh, convince into something, you know, um, she's not, she's seen that and done that. She's heard this before.
Right.
She's heard his crap time and time again. Go ahead.
Mm.
Hey, real talk.
Hey, hey.
Yes.
Absolutely, you guys. I thank you. First of all, thank you for coming up.
Yes.
What we are seeing is 100. You are 100% correct. this girl is recognizing that these are lies being told. But you have to also remember the reason why she might respond or behave to what he's saying and differently than we would is because
Mhm.
she follows the same doctrine. Um, and that doctrine teaches you to be humble, to be calm, to be quiet, to hide your emotions, to understand another person, even when they don't deserve to be understood. To
Absolutely.
allow that person respect, even if they are disrespecting you.
Because of course, you is me. There is no separation.
That's right, and you'll hear
Yeah.
her say that in the last video when I played it before. She actually said, "This version of me, this version of me is powerful. This version of me is manipulative." Because that's what he teaches them is that we are all versions of one being, and he is the highest of the beings, of the versions. Um,
Absolutely.
so that I think that's why her demeanor, she you can see she's not really listening. She is struggling with um connecting the dots the way he wants her to, and so he's using his hands. He's signaling, he's trying, you're not listening to me, so I'm going to reinforce what I'm saying with hand gestures. I'm gonna reinforce what I'm saying with shoulder shrugs, with when my eyes get widened. These are all ways that people try to get you to understand what they're saying is important.
Well, well, just a little background
Mm-hmm.
on this young lady and just the three of them here. Um, and I did go back and watch the rest of the video just so I could know how it ended. But to speak on what you just said about this young lady, they share, just like we can say a lot of people follow like astrology or, horoscopes and that sort of thing. But in fact, she doesn't necessarily follow him. She don't believe that he's the this and the that, but she does believe in the, there's no separation kind of thing. But this Eligio cat, he still wants to say, oh, I'm the best and the master, whatever now. This guy next to him, the kite guy, he is the one that's actually following, the Eligio guy. And when the girl and Kite, we'll just use the names that I know of, when the girl and Kite got together, um, well, let me start before that. The young lady, up top, she was actually with another guy, and they had their own tribe, and they stood on the fact that they were all chiefs, they didn't need, some leader person. So that's kind of where she comes from. Like, she has the knowledge. She don't need you to be her leader, and she was with a guy that understood that same thing. But those two broke up, and then she got with this Kite guy, and Kite uh kind of falls between, oh, I want to be the man, and oh, I want someone to hide behind, and so essentially that's what's happening in the present in this video is that Kite has now gone and got this woman, impregnated this child, this woman, and he's now it's sounding like from what I saw in the video that he now wants to run from his responsibility and now he needs to go run back behind this Eligio cat,
But
and
let's not
so
forget
go
that
ahead.
it's not just that he wants to run from his responsibilities. He has been um, manipulated
Manipulated to, yeah.
into leaving based on what they are now disclosing as a bet that
Mm,
Eligio. It was a phone call made between this demon and Kite. And the
mm,
phone call went a little something uh, about if the child is a boy or stay, if the child is a girl, then you come back and you abandon that child and you come back
yeah, I
to
didn't,
the
yeah.
so-called mission.
Hmm. Right, right. So right, things are being uh things that were in the background, are being brought to the front here. And that's what the young lady was saying. It was the demon's frequency, as they call it, that has now broken the situation up.
That's right.
Right, that's what they were saying. And so the reason why I was speaking on the whole kite, he he is he is being manipulated, and just like all the rest of the crazy kids over there, yeah, they have been manipulated to a point, but then it is a point where they use that and say, you know what, yeah, I'm being manipulated, even though it has now become a choice. It was, a point that they made the choice, like, yeah, I can do all the
Absolutely.
bad crap that I want to do and hide behind this big monster that everybody so-called loves to hate.
Absolutely. And so I didn't know that and I hate using their these names that he gave them, but I
Right,
didn't know that Kite has a child already.
right.
This will be his second child, and he did the same thing to his first child. He left that child to go to this cult to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, when you talk about generational curses and loops and these things, you have to remember that a lot of what these people are doing, he's trying to convince them to not do it to him. What he's asking them to do to his family,
To everybody
to
else.
the rest of the world.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's
Exactly.
That's right. And the narcissist wants everybody' life to span out like theirs anyway. So if just take a regular normal narcissist who's not as big as Eligio, if he is having problem with women, he's scorned. He will tell other men that you know, they should also not be in, these women are no good. This, you're seeing a lot of this on social media. A lot of these guys be narcissistic, and because their life is not spanning out the way they want it to, and they have these hard feelings against women, they'll start to tell other men, you should also feel the same way about the way I feel about women. They're no good. They're incapable of doing A, B, and C. And Legio just does that in a more master manipulative way. He'll say, the child should stay with the mom or whatever, if it's a girl and things of that nature. That's only because that's how his life turned out. But best believe if he had his daughter still and Velvet there still, it would be a whole nother narrative he would be spitting to the guys, like, oh, you should have your kids around at all times, you should be there for your children. But they don't want to be the only ones having these just really destructive relationships. So they will use that as a opportunity to teach other men how to have destructive relationships. I mean, that's what it is in a nutshell. They're teaching people how to have the destructive relationships, but he calls it the way. That's not the way, but he calls it the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I can
Wow.
definitely agree with that.
Somebody said that's because Nature Boy wants her, so he is causing division. So if she is weak
Facts.
minded, she can end up with him with no child. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See what go ahead.
No, I agree with that totally. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I agree with that totally because, he's a hoarder. He's a hoarder of women. He's
Mm.
a hoarder.
He's a hoarder
Okay.
of
So
things. If y'all look in his room, he's a hoarder of all things. He hoards memories. If you remember, he always has photos of women he's not even with anymore.
Okay, that
Naisha is
iPad
one
full
of
of
them.
just good. Yeah,
Yep,
yep.
he's a
iPad
hoarder
full
of
of
things. He got like 6 or 7 um Amazon cheap hats.
They do. They are hoarders, and I mean they will do that. They'll keep memorabilia of past relationships of women. They will also use what I call the snapshot of you in the relationship to use for other women in the next relationship. What I mean by that is this: they'll remember something about you that was good, and then they'll triangulate that information in the next relationship, which will, so to give the next woman something to strive for. So in the next
Mhm.
relationship, let's say if with Malia in this circumstance, he'll maybe tell her from time to time that she's not she don't know the knowledge, or she should do better. But really what he's doing, he's gauging her against the snapshot of he had a velvet in his head. So most narcissists do that. So they hoard pictures, memorabilia, they snapshot some memories that they have of you, good and bad, and then they'll either use that to triangulate again in the next relationship, that information to triangulate in the next relationship, or they use that to demonize you in the next relationship, to say she was a demon, she did A, B, and C to me, so you better not do that to me. This put women in a position of codependency in the relationship. So I tell people all the time, you may not necessarily have been codependent all your life, but if you get with a narcissist and you start to fall victim to their ways and their tactics, it can very much put you in a position of circumstantial codependency. So a lot of these women are suffering from that. They're striving, they're reaching a goalpost that does not exist, and they're all striving to be this idealization, this idea of what velvet was, which was really just an image that doesn't really exist. It was part of his own thought up idealization of what he thought of her.
That's right. And you know what? You know what's interesting is when you hear when Velvet started talking about her experience, and other people who would leave started talking about her experience. One thing that was consistent was she was young, and he would put on a show to make people think that she was a certain way. If he wanted her to be extra, what do you dress like? I guess what in his mind what a queen dresses like. And then when the cameras were off, beating them up and doing all kinds of other things, having them be sexually explicit. Those he, for some reason in his mind, he wants I don't know if he wants to make it appear that he has an alpha woman or whatever that is, whatever that means to him, like a woman who really just doesn't care what other people think.
That is exactly right. I had a very similar experience. I met my narcissistic ex when I was 15. He was significantly older than me. And he would tell people or want me to put on a persona in public that was not necessarily what was happening in the household when the doors are closed, right? So he, it's about perception. It's about they want people to believe what they want people to believe, right? It's like, I'm going to create this identity and you believe it because I tell you to believe it, or you believe it because that is what I'm presenting to you. But that may not actually be the case behind closed doors. And so most narcissists are like that. You'll find that even in a narcissistic mother with her children. She'll say, when we get out this door, you better not do A, B, and C. You better, you better stand up straight. You better be well mannered. You better you better not act out in public. But behind closed doors, it's like that they could be tearing up the house. The mother could care less what they're doing. There's no real guidance in the home, right? So it's all about image. It's always going to be about image. It's not just changing the narrative for individuals that they have around them. They want to change the narrative of the masses or people who look at them and perceive them a certain way. I want to change your perception about me. And that's very important to me. That's what the narcissist thinks.
I'm glad you mentioned that about the female narcissist as well. I froze this image right here. Tell me what you see. This whole video is about body language. Tell me what y'all see.
Most narcissists have exaggerated facial expressions and body movements anyway, especially when they're using the power of persuasion. But what they also they are very interested in other people's facial expressions as well. That's why they pay attention to your face. They want to see subtle, like I said, eye rolling or, gasping or thing. That's very, very important to them. They know the power of that as well. They can read people through their facial expressions. But when a narcissist is trying to persuade you, he'll use a lot of hand gestures, facial expressions. And you also see that when he's switching personalities, when he want to act gangster, you see the lip come up. You see a lot of the head bobbing. He almost changes personality sometimes depending on headwear that he have on his head. You would see sometimes he'll have a bonnet on. And when he got a bonnet on, then he might want to go into preach mode. It's almost like when he has the bonnet on, he almost turns into the mother with a lot of advice. You understand? He turns into like a old school mama with a lot of advice. You understand? And when he have on the hat, right? When he have on the hat, he might go into gangster mode. And there's been times he had on chief hats and things of that nature. So I think that some of these hats or these headwears are part of a symbol for him. That's why his wicks were very important to him. He feel like it gave him a era of power, right? And for the conscious community. So that was very important for him to have those locks, but it didn't work out in his favor, you know. But yeah, it's what he has on his head and how he wears his hair is very important. It's part of his insecurities.
So, okay. So what I see, right, is three people here. The guy just, the second guy just came up. But what I see is her self-soothing herself and rejecting what the demon has been trying to perpetuate. I see the demon's face feeling like he's mixed. He's trying to recalibrate, okay, and figure out, okay, he sees her body language saying, I'm not falling for it. I have a mind. I'm not, and I'm going to speak it. And she also feels like, okay, I have a third person up here that's now about to kind of take the wind out of my sails because I'm trying to speak my mind, but here's somebody else that wants to speak their mind. But Eligio is feeling like, oh, he's about to be double teamed by people that's not falling for it. That's what I see.
That's right.
Yes.
Wow. That's a great analogy, or excuse me, interpretation. Her hands, power move, right there. That is a power move. The hands crossed in front of you. Eligio, head tilted to the side, eyebrows up. He feels defeated. So if you've watched this video, this is and partially uncomfortable, and I think it's because of this gentleman right on the other side of him, who just came up. See, he wants the conversation to be between just him and the young woman above. But when she starts bringing in people that, number one, don't support what he is saying, who actually support what she is saying, he starts to feel like he's losing control. And so he first goes into these gestures that he's feeling like frustrated that he can't get her. He becomes very passive and then aggressive, and then passive and then aggressive.
Like recalculating. What the GPS always say?
There you go.
Rerouting.
Yep. Wow, Morbeer. That was when I say the perfect phrase.
Oh yeah. A head tilt in psychology is part of the subconscious, which can typically mean being interested in what you're saying, or you coming from a place of inquisitiveness, like I want to know what you mean, right? So he's processing right now how to be able to communicate with this young lady who obviously has not fallen for his wit and whim, right? So he's like, how do I have this intellectual conversation with this woman? So the head tilt is a part of the interest in the verbal game that he's about to have with this woman.
Oh, pause right there. Not you, Ivy, but the video.
Okay.
I'm sorry, because I wanted to follow up. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Ivy. I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh no, I'm done. Please add. It's okay. Please add to that.
Okay. So, we've seen, videos of the Eligio guy, and he uses, when people are speaking to him and they are at the moment of getting their point across, he'll interrupt them with something. He'll divert. Let me ask you something, or bring me the battery pack, or whatever. He'll divert. So
Yeah.
what the young lady did, I don't know if it was, I think it was a little of both. I think it was a little of her using that tactic of like, I know he wants to say something, but I'm looking to the side. I'm going to get up. I'm going to stop that connection that he wants to get back. And you see that's why Legio leaned back and was like, okay,
That's right.
I'm going to also lean back so she don't get it up on me so I can come back and have
Ah,
her waiting.
Oh,
It's like,
absolutely. He does this. He does it intentionally. I truly don't think she did it intentionally. But
yeah,
she's the person who commands her own space.
absolutely.
She won't sit there, even if she has to use the bathroom or have to do something for somebody else. She won't ignore the things around her for his attention.
Exactly. Exactly.
right.
Yeah. 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 Oh, and I didn't get to say when we were talking about the whole what he's trying to, how the Eligio guy is trying to get into her head and
Hmm.
how he's a hoarder kind of thing.
Hmm.
So what he's trying to do, he's trying to give her an out, because that's kind of what we were talking about. Like, hey, well, we were talking about this bet, this backroom bet that they made, about if it's a girl or boy or whatever. And it was funny. The girl, what is her name? Khadijah,
Yeah, Kaja.
Mhm.
Kaja, or whatever, is still there, and she looking kind of bad, but it's still there. But that's funny. But let me see. How do I say it? I like to get in and get out. Let's see. That he's looking at her. Eligio's looking at her, saying, "Do you want me? If you do,
Hmm.
this is your opportunity to take it,
Yeah.
and run with it. You could be here." And she's like, "No,
And so
I'm
what he
done."
also said is, I don't think you guys caught that. Maybe you did. I don't know, but I
So
caught um during the other live when I played the audio with it. If you remember, he said, "Kite is coming with me. His journey is with
hmm
me. If you want to go on a journey with him, if you want to try and salvage it, you have to come here."
see, exactly.
Does anybody remember that?
I
Wow.
do. I do. So an in and also an out. An in to him, but also an out from Kite. But that triangulation thing that Ivy was talking about, it's all he creates line segments. Any line that he creates is into a triangle or a web.
Yeah.
It's not a good look.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if that's part of, see, I mean, I don't know the relationship he had with this young lady previously. I watch very little of Nature Boy. I watch it in spurts, and but if he was, if part of the pattern is telling, bringing the men first. I think that would probably be part of what his objective was. Not necessarily to split them up, but to put himself in a position where he's in the same vicinity as her, because
hmm
he's not just a hoarder, he's also very predatory. So he
Hmm.
will he any woman that he has within his vicinity that he has some kind of attraction to. And I think all it would take usually for Eligio to be attracted to anybody would be youth, right? She's young, right? And that's pretty much all he would need.
She looks like
He would. Right.
she looks like
Sorry, go ahead.
Malia and has the fire of
Velvet.
Velvet.
Oh my
non-velvet.
God.
Exactly.
Very
Absolutely.
sense. It makes a lot of sense. So I would say that and because of the head tilt, I think that was probably his main objective. The head tilt is a sign of interested. So it's not always used as a sign of manipulation or deception. It's usually a sign of, oh, I'm very interested in you. I'm
Hmm.
very interested in what you have to say, or this moment, or me having a conversation with you. And that's what that head tilt is. So him head tilting to me is a sign that he was way more interested in getting her over there to him than it would be Kite. He had Kite over there already. He could care less whether Kite come or go. Honestly, but let's be real. I think the last time he kicked Kite out, if I'm not mistaken, or wanted Kite to go, he could care less. But now Kite got this fresh new girlfriend. Yeah, he would love to have her in the camp more than Kite.
Oh, absolutely.
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 So, and
Wow, that
I'm
was
going
awesome.
outside to my car,
Okay.
but
So, mhm.
go ahead. So, well, so the background, just to be quick, there was like she was with another young dude, like I said, and they were all about, like you're cool, but we're on our own mission,
Yep.
right? And I
Yep.
think he already had, he's a hoarder, so he couldn't get her at that moment, and so here Kite probably was sent out to get with her. You know what I mean? Like on some uh backdoor logic possibility,
Wow.
running type thing. And it's just like I said, where there is a line, it's him forming that triangulation.
Here we go, y'all. Look at this. And this is why I'm not playing the audio. I need you guys to really pay attention to the body language.
And it do be that deep. Shit.
It's
Right.
look at this. There go the hand gestures again. His voice, you can tell, is elevated. He's screaming at the device.
He's so called trying to articulate. As if people don't understand.
It's articulate. It's articulate. He's trying to articulate.
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 Articulated.
Look at this.
Hmm.
Much more hand gestures. That's what I'm noticing right away. Much more hand gestures. The eyebrows are going inward or lifting, right? Lifting, going inward.
When he's using his hands, he's struggling.
He done went all the way to closing his eyes. Ivy, Ivy, what's happening? Oh, she might not be. She might have to have stepped out. But so what's happening is he's trying to move inward. He can't get his point across. He's yelling. He's moving his hands, trying to get her to understand. Then he got his hands up as in defense. He's trying to can get something out that is not making sense to them, and he can feel it. He can, and that's one thing about him. He can feel when something is not working, and that's when the other personalities start to show themselves. Right now he's getting frustrated, and again there goes the hand gestures going inward, 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 shoulders up. He's frustrated. He's
Mm-hmm.
frustrated.
Like,
He
why
just
is this guy
clear
even up
sign.
here?
Yep, clear sign. He just hit his forehead. um and look at the guy. So now he's starting to get the person beside him, just almost as equally as frustrated, because he's starting to talk over them. He
Mm-hmm.
won't be quiet, and that's another sign that the person um truly doesn't want to have a conversation with you. Alicio doesn't want to have a conversation with them. His sole objective in this live is to convince her of something. And this guy right here is just really annoying him. He doesn't really want to hear what he has to say because it's not in alignment with convincing this young woman of whatever he wants to convince her of.
That's right. That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. Now her, she's appreciating the
Yeah.
like the second hand standing up against him. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Up against him, but at the same time, she has a message that she wants to relay. Because this was kind of a personal conversation. That they were trying to get across. Because it's her baby daddy, Kite. And then this guy that Kite wants to run off to.
Yep.
So.
And if you remember around here, let me see if I can go back to it, like around this part, and I'm only going to pause it shortly. This area right here, Alicia, when Kite came up to address any misunderstandings, Nature Boy told him, "You don't need to be here. This conversation doesn't involve you. We don't
Ain't
need
that
a third party to deal with this."
ain't
Mind
that
you,
about a blip?
he's the father of this unborn child, but it's not. It doesn't concern him. That is how you know the intent of an individual. They don't even want all parties involved to be involved.
That's how you know he's not a mediator. He's like
No,
a instigator
he's
and a
that's right. That's right. And here goes when the second individual comes up. Here is where
oh, see, I
he
didn't see that. I didn't see this part.
okay. And then I'm going to actually look at this. Look at this fool. Certain parts I just gotta laugh at because this he's a clown. Look, look.
When the scam artist is mad, you won't just give him your money. What
Yeah.
part
Oh
don't you
yeah.
understand? You gonna have some beach front land in Nevada, and there is no beachfront land in Nevada for people that may be listening that didn't get that.
Look at this. Doing pointing. Now he's again here we go with the pointing, the shaking of the head. He's beating his hand, trying to drive home this point, trying to feel I guess reclaim his dominance in the conversation, or his supposed dominance in the conversation.
Mhm.
And look at the guy with the note who doesn't have the shirt on. If you look at him, he brought the phone down, right? He has he's not wearing the shirt, so you can see them really in tune with whatever it is that they believe in, that you
Mhm.
shouldn't wear.
They're living their message
Right.
or whatever. Yeah.
And so after this live, Alicio does the exact same thing.
Took
He
off his dumb shirt.
he took off his shirt, had the camera in a downward project.
Like the power.
Yes.
That's what they call it in
Yes, they tried to regain dominance over his viewers,
hmm
or
And you
in
know
this
what? I
case,
was
the
wrong. I did see this part when he came. It was just short. It was pretty quick because he left.
yeah.
Sorry, ladies. I had a call. Sorry.
No worries, no worries. Um, we were we were breaking down. Where was it? Hmm.
Just the again microaggressions and
Yep.
gestures.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Let me see. It was one in particular that I had showed y'all, and I can't remember. Dang it. Okay. So this is just the part where he is now being um, ganged up on by all three individuals. He asked for this person to come up, this third person, and he is not liking what he is hearing. Look at the body language here and tell me the difference between the so-called leader, this guy who wants you to believe that he's the Messiah, he is the messenger, he is your God, your higher self, versus the three other individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And also with these hand gestures that he makes, like when he was pointing, you would point out, him pointing and whatever. But I guarantee you, he wasn't pointing and saying, what's his little philosophy? Talk about the you are I and I is I and all of
Mhm.
that. He all of that goes out the window when he's placing blame and talking about who he is. That's what he. I don't really know what they talking about, but he's saying you are something else and I am this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you should respect that. Apparently, is how he's coming off. But he doesn't want to respect anybody else's.
Mhm.
Absolutely not. Yep.
He actually says this. He actually says, "I am smarter than you." And they all start laughing at him.
Yeah. Right. He said that.
He said it out
Wow.
of his mouth. He said,
Wow.
listen to this. I'm smarter than you are.
Mm.
And he bust out
That's
like,
yeah. That's part of the aggression. You know, grown men with these personality disorders, they have maybe the emotional capacity, the emotional capability of a 12-year-old man.
mm-hmm,
So, part of his flailing of his hands and
mm-hmm,
pointing and things of that nature is to uh emphasize his statement, like, you're going to believe me, I demand that you do. Right.
mm-hmm.
I'm doing everything in my power to persuade you to believe that I am God or whoever I am, a Messiah. And it's frustrating. And this is what's going on in his head and talking about his subconscious gestures, right? This is frustrating that you cannot see what I see. The thing about it is that he truly, truly believes in his doctrine. He truly believes it. That's part of the disorder. Right. So imagine himself living in this parallel universe where he actually believes he's God, and everyone around him, besides the people that he's able to persuade, do not believe it. He has a hard time with this. He's trying to convince a lot of people that he is what he truly believes that he is. It's part of the disorder. He has narcissistic personality disorder, but he also has a lot of sociopathic and schizophrenic behavior as well. Right? Nobody's paying attention to the fact that he is a man with a mental disability.
But
He's a
see,
mental disability.
she
Go ahead.
actually mentioned that. She brought
Absolutely.
Uh,
that up early on in the
yep.
conversation. You know, like
Yep.
that's your loop. That's your loop about needing validation. And I think
Right.
that's was what they were taught. That was the topic at this
And that's
point.
Right.
right. And that's why he's getting so frustrated, is because he's searching outside of himself for
Mhm.
validation. And he
Mhm.
can't understand why they won't give it to him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. It
But
was
it makes
great.
so much sense, believe me. But that's why he shouts these weird, bizarre statements. He's not doing it for entertainment. He truly is begging for you to believe him. Look, look.
Look, it's
Yep.
a little boy crying.
Yeah, that's exactly what it
Look,
is. I'm glad
look.
that we're having this discussion because
Yeah.
people won't see it until it's played out like this, where there's no he's not spinning the narrative with his words. Thank you, Real. This is a great idea for turning the mic off. I mean, turning off the volume and letting us see how this person plays out without the volume, because when they use their words, it helps to scuff out the
Yep,
immaturity in their
yep,
gestures,
yep.
right? That's why I like to listen. That's why I like to people watch when I have conversations with people. It gives me a lot to their personality and how they move, their body language and things of that nature. People need to start using discernment when it comes to watching a person and how they move their arms and the tics and the gestures and all these little things that they can't even help themselves. He can't help. He can't help the body gestures. He can't help the ticks. He can't help how he moves his face and arms. And so
Oh
this
my
is
God, he
very
about to
powerful.
explode right here. Hold on. Let me pause this. Look
Absolutely.
at this, you guys. Oh my God.
That's funny.
Let me see if I could. Did I rewind it further enough? There we go. Look at this shit.
Hmm.
Believe me. Please,
Yeah.
deeply, from the depths of my soul. Please believe me.
Yeah.
And look at their body language.
They're
Yeah.
looking at him like they're in the line at Ross and they see a child having a fit.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
they like, won't somebody, where is your mother, child? Somebody come get their child.
He's about to explode. Look at his hands. They're open. They're up, palms up, open. Body, top or upper body is leaning forward. Eyes bulging. Eyebrows way up to his huge forehead.
Hmm.
This
Mm,
man
Hmm.
is desperate. He's on the brink of crying.
yeah, yeah.
He wants to cry.
But
He
he's
wants
always
to
crying
throw
inside.
something or hit someone.
Yes, that's what it looks like. If they were in person, he would
Yes.
be then taunting
Yes.
them or
Yes.
antagonizing them with his, whatever,
Yep. This would have gotten physical if he were with them. Look at
with
that.
his with
Look
his
at
what
Right.
do you call it? Prison defense
what is I
mechanisms.
can't get to you. I can't convince you. I can't beat you down. I can't make others beat you down. You're not listening to me the way I want you to. I can't put you in isolation or starve you. I am
Right.
you're not getting what I'm telling you.
Hmm.
And I'm not used to someone not getting what I'm telling them.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's part of the dysregulated emotions as well. So think of a baby who's having a tantrum. If a baby says, I want that toy, and
Yep.
you say, no, you're not getting it. Right. I mean, you might see some of these type of tantrums coming from a 5 or 6 year old, right? The flailing of the arms, the
Yep.
face, the raised eyebrows, right? The frustration, right? No, you're going to give me this toy, right? So this, you're looking at a grown man who with the mindset of a child. So this is what he's displaying.
I wish I had a picture of a baby because or an upset toddler. This is exactly what it looks like. Um, and I also want to point out, I don't know if you can see my
What's your
arrow.
thoughts?
I also want to point out this little section of the forehead that
I can't see. No, we can't see the
okay,
arrow.
you can't see the arrow. Okay. It's all right.
Oh
It's
yeah, there it is. There's the arrow.
that little bald had to be petty. I'm sorry. I got
That faint bang. It's a faint bang.
had to have a
That
moment
was
of pettiness.
funny.
Oh God, and it's worse.
Yeah.
It's getting worse by the day.
I'm gonna look for what's this after this. I'm gonna look for Breeze's video just so we can cheer ourselves up a little bit after this. Um look. Ugh. Mm, mm.
What? Where should we look?
This
Where
is a
should we look to believe you?
this is a stark just at his whole demeanor. This is a stark difference from the beginning of the conversation. Remember how he was in the beginning of the conversation,
Peace,
smiling.
my sister, and how are you?
Peace, my
And
sister.
Yeah, but
Menendez,
the part of this is also the act. You can't debate. He knows the cameras is running. He knows he has
yeah.
to put on an act for his audience as well, right? So it's they always going to have exaggerated body language, but then roll a camera and then you see the real exaggeration, right? You know that he got to put on a show. It's about views at the end of the day. It's about likes. The true supply is really never just an individual woman or several women or even a few guys. It's the true supply for the narcissist is always a crowd. It's always the adulation, the admiration of a crowd, of a following. That is the biggest source of supply for any narcissist. That gives them the biggest feeling in terms of sexual desire. That's what they really sexually desire. Admiration from a group, especially the grandiose narcissist, of a group of people, right?
mm, 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 mm.
He will be the type of person, and any narcissist with his person, this type, the grandiose one, they will spend a lot of time scanning online, looking for their names, looking to see who's talking about them, look to see if they are trending. um, they will look for people who can put them in a position of power. So it is not uncommon for them to reach out to maybe artists or stars if they can find them on Instagram or TikTok or whoever or whatever. They will be in people inboxes saying, "Hello, how are you? I am Amira." They want to put themselves. They are very big opportunists. They want. They want they want to be famous, and that is their biggest source of supply for them. They will probably not even want one woman if they can have just a popularity. If he was to be popular tomorrow, very close to an A-list celebrity, he would dump he would leave Carbonation if he knew it would buy him a scene on a movie. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because it's about him growing and becoming more and more popular. That's all it is really for them at the end of the day. It's about
Now,
views and
Ivy,
likes.
you
Yes, ma'am.
just reminded me because we spoke about this just a minute ago about uh like who this woman is, right? And I brought
Yeah.
up the fact that she was the wife of this other tribes person that, you know, was like, we are our own chiefs or whatever. Well,
Right.
I just realized why he's even still on this panel. Why is he still up here? It's because her her last boyfriend slept with Velvet.
Oh, okay. That says it
Yeah.
all.
The guy and this is why he was saying he connected the dots early when Kite was there. He said it. And that's why I decided not to show, I mean, not to have any audio this time, because sometimes so much is going on that we kind of, we can't process everything that's being said or shown.
Okay.
And in the beginning of this video, when Kite came up, he said that the reason this Kite should leave this young woman is because it is their karmic cycle. Because Velvet left and slept with a guy who used to be like a part of this group that the young woman is from, that the young woman is in, and
Mm,
and she was dating that gentleman, and he left this woman right here. He
mm-hmm,
left her for Velvet,
mm-hmm,
Uh,
and
so
and
that makes sense.
yes, and so when he left her for Velvet, that left her available for a newfound love, and Kite left his cult to be with her.
That makes sense. Okay.
because
Well,
otherwise he would have already dropped down. Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, he would have. He would have. That makes perfect sense. Narcissists are very sadistic. They'll wait for a very long time. Hold on. Hold on. I'm getting a call. Hold on.
But yeah, and I do remember him with this whole word salad thing about, you know, oh, if it was a girl, you'd stay, you know, whatever this so-called BS bet was. And that's when the Kaja lady was put on the screen. And, you know, it was essentially like, well, what would the reward have been, you know, had it been a boy? And he was like, nothing, you know. And she was like, well, there you go. There's the BS on a platter, you know, young man, you falling for it. Kite, you're falling for the BS. And he had to think quick, you know, no, it was for knowledge, for knowledge. But
Absolutely.
another thing that while she's out about the head tilt, you know, he always, and about the intrigue and all of that. That's what chess players do, you know, the intrigue of is still trying to win, trying to, you know, recalculate how to get another one up on the move that just occurred, you know, or that's occurring currently.
Yep. Yep. All right. I'm gonna play this part with the volume because I want you guys to watch in, in here the last part, which I didn't show my last video, my last live. But I want you to see when he implodes and explodes, when he can't get his way. All
Mm-hmm.
right.
No sound yet. No sound. Should we be hearing
It's
sound?
like
Okay,
it's
here we
very
go.
defensive energy, you know. I understand that we're trying to speak to you from a place of love because we do love you. You feel me? Like,
Defend your energy. Defend yourself.
yes, defend yourself, but
Protect
there's no,
yourself.
but who's harming
Protect
who's
yourself.
harming you? Who's harming you? What war are you
Yeah,
fighting
who's
against
harming
us
you?
three right now?
There are entities. Listen, guys, there
Why
are
are you
entities.
why are you angry?
No, I'm not
No.
angry. It's passion. It's
No.
passion. This is my life.
It's
This is my
just
life.
too many possibilities for
It's not anger. I
everybody.
promise. Listen, don't get this misconstrued.
It's
Don't.
infinite
No. This is not
possibilities.
defensiveness. This is passion. I live, eat, sleep, shit this, bro, for years. I'm in this shit all the way. It is who I am. I simply am trying to tell you one thing, bro. And I'm gonna let you guys go because I realize you're young. And the one thing you young people do not understand with your power is how to use it. And I just
Wait, how am I
can't
supposed to use my
teach you
power?
that.
Wait,
I'm
stop,
trying
stop,
to. I'm trying to.
How am I supposed
I'm
to keep my
trying
power?
to help you. I'm trying to. I'm gonna go
Tell
live.
me.
I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna let y'all hear me talk. I'm not.
He
even
doesn't know.
I'm frustrated because I'm trying to relay a message to y'all because
Because you're not listening, bro. You want to hear yourself speak.
I'm not. No, bro. Because I know what
You
I'm
love
talking
hearing yourself
about.
speak. You're not
I
listening
know
to
what I'm
nobody.
talking
Let him
about,
speak.
bro.
Just let
You're
him speak.
defending yourself every time that
I'm
you
not
feel
defending
like
myself.
your ego
I'm
is hard.
defending absolute truth, and I don't. Guess what?
That's what you
know
just
what?
did. You
I'm
just
only
defended
defending-
yourself.
Hold up, before you say anything. Listen, I know more than you do.
Right there,
That's
your ego.
great.
You're nothing. You're
Congratulations.
nothing, but
It's
you know
the
more
ego
than we do.
defending itself.
You know
bro,
more than we do.
Yo, bro, if I go to a mechanic or I go to a doctor and the doctor is studying
They don't know
something,
shit. They
Bro,
don't know
hold
shit.
on,
Don't give me that bullshit logic. They don't know fucking shit.
Hold on. There are people that are chosen for certain things, bro. And what you have to understand is this: when it comes to certain things, we don't know everything about certain things. And y'all young people, I'm about to go live because
What makes you think I'm not chosen?
No.
What makes you think that he's not chosen?
No. You're chosen to do what you're doing, but you're missing a key element. It's protecting your energy. Never mind. Learn the hard way then. Motherfuckers. Learn.
You're learning the hard way, G.
He can't control his
He's
emotions.
learning the hard way.
He can't control his emotions.
The whole world to give.
He's learning the hard way.
That was like watching a child.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's part of the narcissistic rage, and every single one of them have it. They can't even help themselves. They have very intense outbursts. You don't know when it's coming. It always really happens when, of course, they're being challenged, and it can happen out of nowhere. So if they feel like they're not getting anywhere in a conversation, they will just say something really silly, and they will just hit below the belt, right? Call your name. If they know anything personal about you, they'll use that. Your insecurities, they'll use that to win favor in the argument, right? So they don't mind doing that. It does not even matter to them. They will do it. The part of that aggression, it would be deliberate sarcasm and anger and outbursts. And every narcissist has that, even the covert ones.
Agreed. And
Absolutely. So yeah, I want to show y'all this video. I got one more video for y'all. I was going to show Young Pharaoh, but we already are at about an hour, I think. But we'll get to Young Pharaoh as well for those who want to break down his manic behavior as well.
child.
Let's see. Why can't I find Breeza? I can't find you. Let me see. Oh, there you go. All right.
That sounds like the longest nose blowing ever. I hope he get that booger out. Sorry.
That's why I keep muting myself because certain tools they use.
They getting it done though.
I think that's that sounds like the real thin. It's not a circular saw, but it's real thin.
It's
Look almost
like
like
the
a
sand. What is it called? The belt sander, whatever it's called.
yeah, something similar to that.
Kind of
All right,
sand.
let me mute myself.
Oh, the rotary, like the rotary. Lord, girl, I can't.
This is not you. None of you look in the mirror. None of you really look in the mirror.
Daniel's still got a lot of pop in his right hand. Again. Oh. Cleanest shot of the fight landed by Cody and a sweep. Sweeps do score in Muay Thai. Cody's going forward like he wants to win this fight. He knows he lost the first round. He's trying to take the third. Daniels is a little bit fatigued. Pushes him in the corner now.
Yeah, Cody is being more aggressive now.
Cody's got a little bit more energy. He didn't use as much.
And he knows it too.
Daniels backs up, spinning back kick, and falls down.
You are playing with my kids, and you won't let me see my kids because I'm successful and I'm talking to women that's other than you.
You must learn to embody my teachings, to be empowered. You must learn to believe in me and understand what I'm saying. Once you truly believe in me and believe in my words and my teachings and know that they are true, and you have nothing to convince yourself for, then you will truly embody. And that's what you're doing. You're believing. You're learning to believe in the very thing that I taught you, which is divine truth. You know it's true because it's mathematical and facts, but you still struggle with it.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna play it, but what is mathematical facts? Like what about what he just said was mathematical facts?
Nothing. I'll just answer that plainly.
In your life and applying that knowledge, you forget principles.
When are you bringing my kids to see their dad?
I can give my power to anyone and still be okay. But you, it would drain you. I am a source of my own as the sun is. I'm able to take my own energies and my own mind, power my own self.
That's the
I'm a
biggest fraud
source
of
of
them all.
power unto myself. It's what makes me a God. But I am your source. You get it? The government is God. Nigga, this is hell. It's levels to these demons. And the Satan is a blue-eyed white man. But he's divine. He's righteous in his doing because he's been designed to do it by God, a higher power. Nothing happens without God. Nature's doing this shit. All is in order. All is where it's supposed to be. You're not changing shit.
The pedophile, Eligio, that you guys locked up. Who? The one that said that that America was Babylon? And that the white man was the devil and that y'all shouldn't worship? Oh, I'm sorry, it's above me now. Yo. And even though he denounced America and we said that y'all was Babylon and we told people that they should leave y'all and that we was God and Wappy Woo.
I am your king. I have full access to use this. You have only access to use it in a way to worship me.
Okay, y'all. If you want to see the full video, please go to Breezer31 to watch the full video and other videos like it. I don't know if it's female or male, but I love the videos. They are hilarious and they still add that educational component to them to wake people up. So yeah, y'all.
I like that. That was fun.
I'm telling it's a lot. It's a lot of videos over I think a span of years. I think I've been watching it. I can't remember how long I've been watching these videos, but they don't get the play they deserve. So I wanted to put it up today.
All right, I'll definitely go and check out, a few of the videos.
The editing is really good. But so yeah, you guys. I'm gonna cover Young Pharaoh as well. I think this is a great way to break people down. Oh man, here we go. All right, so this is a great way to break people down. Any last thoughts? There was a point I wanted to make, but I forgot. So, any last thoughts?
So just seeing these, to speak on this Allegio cat, right? Because YP is a whole nother thing. But he is like the junior of impersonators. Like he's built. That's what he's built on. All of these things that these characters, it's all impersonation. Um, he takes on these characters. I don't like to say channeling, per se, but he would like us to think that. But yeah, he's just acting. Like unfortunately, I don't he doesn't like who he is, you know, in all actuality. He does not have a personality outside of taking on all of these different, characters that he's come across in his lifetime, whether it's DMX or, some, people that we know, people that we don't know, these teachers that he's come across online, you know, and it's ever so clear, and that's why you said, you know, when he has on, when I think Ivy said, he has on these different costumes, he becomes these different people, you know, um, and all he has is some inspired, uh, uh, what do you call it? Caricature? I could never say that word.
Caricature.
Yeah, caricature. Thank you. Oh, it's that middle cook. Caricature. Yeah. Just an exaggerated uh idea of these people that he's seen online, and he's running with it. Like that's his gas, you know. On top of what he's actually done some, studying of psychology, manipulation. I don't really know the terms. Maybe Ivy would, do better with that. He has done that study. And it's a trip though, that he so called, teaches all of this mind stuff. What is it, biology and astrology and all of this, but psychology is not one of them. You know, that's crazy. So
Absolutely. Every time I talk.
they playing with you now. They messing with you.
Oh God. Okay, guys. I'm so sorry.
Oh, Ivy had to drop down.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna wrap this up. I like to say I'm gonna come later, but it's always up in the air because I have 4 children. So
Bless your heart.
some days are better than others. But thank you all so much for.
It's just a little white noise. It's okay.
Okay, because it sounds really loud to me. Thank you so much, you guys, for subscribing to the channel in advance, for watching the live, participating, adding so much to it. Thank you, Morbeer, for coming up. It's always good to hear your voice.
Oh, more beard. That's me. Oh,
Morbeer,
okay.
you.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yes.
It's always good to hear your voice.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I try to come up when I can, when I can catch it. But,
Thank you, and because I
uh,
know you making that bread.
yeah, trying. Bills to pay. Gotta pay Paul. Okay, so I could get not
Gotta
Peter. Pay Peter so I can get that Paul. Yeah.
no, it's not. But
But
yeah, thank you all. Thank you for please like, subscribe, share this video. Subscribe to anyone who was up here has a channel, so please subscribe to their channel. And be on the lookout for the next video. Hit the notification if you want to, get notified that I'm going live. And until next time, peace.
peace.